NFL Sunday is almost here. We're here to preview and pick who is going to win these NFL Sunday games, and of course also Monday Night Football. We have amazing games. Football is back. I cannot wait. I was so excited. Thursday was an amazing game, of course, with the Detroit Lions upsetting the reigning defending champs, Kansas City Chiefs. First game we have on Sunday, Bengals versus Browns, and it comes down to one person of how this game's going to go. Deshaun Watson, how good is he going to be? How much is he going to impact this offense and push this offense? Because, that matters to him. Because last year he was not so good at all. Not good at all. Just say not good at all. I know. He was out for a year. He was gone. But it was because of him. Because of what he did. We won't talk about it. But he's had a training camp. He's back. He's been with the team. They got Elijah Moore from the Jets. Made some moves. Still got Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples Jr., Jones, something like that. Sorry, I can't remember. It's a long name. But, yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. Of course, you have Nick Chubb, an amazing running back, one of the best in the league. And an amazing defense, led by Myles Garrett. Deshaun Watson is the big factor for not only for them, but for them in the division. Because the way the rest of the AFC looks like, they would have to win over 10 wins. Maybe even over 11 just to make a wild card spot. Because if they don't win number one, number two is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to make it as number two, and it's definitely going to be hard to make it as number three in your division. Especially with the other side, you have the Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills, which I pretty much think that the Bills and the Dolphins are a lock. I don't know about the Jets. They could be possibly the third team. So here, Week 1, Joe Burrow's back. Hopefully the calf doesn't bother him too much. But here I have the Bengals over the Browns. And then with the game number 2, Ravens versus the Texans. Ravens, not Deshaun Watson. Lamar Jackson got his money. He's ready. And I just hope he can stay healthy. J.K. Dobbins, one of the most efficient runners in the league whenever he's healthy. And he is healthy. There's no reports that, it's lingering, no surgeries, nothing. He's healthy. And I'm ready for it. J.K. Dobbins, one of the best running backs in the league when he's healthy. And then, of course, this defense, Ravens defense, is not to mess with. And then for the Texans, it's pretty much just to see what you got for this year. You got Dalton Schultz, you got Robert Woods, and, of course, just to see what you have in your rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and, of course, in your defensive rookie also, Will Anderson Jr. Just to see what that. And, start his campaign on defensive rookie of the year. And then the next game, Falcons versus Panthers. My offensive rookie of the year, possibly the number 1, number 2 guys right here facing off each other. The Falcons, Bijan Robinson, and of course Panthers, Bryce Young. I'll talk about the Panthers first. Bryce Young, you got Miles Sanders, you got Hayden Hurst from the Bengals, and you don't have DJ Moore anymore. You got Adam Thielen, who could possibly be the vet number 1 for Bryce Young, and it's gonna be good. These two teams could win the division. It depends how the Saints are. This division's gonna be close. I can see whoever wins this division is gonna go to the playoffs, and that's it. It's gonna be maybe a 1-2 game slate. But I don't think the Falcons don't have a defense also to mess with. It's not one of the best in the league. I would say it's a little bit above maybe average defense, but you have offensive weapons. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, whenever he is utilized right, not used as a freaking blocker. The man was a top pick after, which that really upset me last year seeing that. You have Tyler Algier, Cordero Patterson, literally able to play anywhere in the entire field. But it comes down to one person for the Atlanta Falcons, and that is Desmond Ridder. I hope he's solid enough just for him to be the bridge quarterback. I don't really see him being as a franchise quarterback for him. I think he's a nice bridge quarterback to find whoever they needed. I think I would have seen them more with a Trey Lance, but it is what it is. He went to my boys, and Bijan Robinson's gonna carry the crap out of the ball, and also is Tyler Algier whenever he's in the game, and hopefully Desmond Ridder could just push the pace up enough passing wise to Drake London to have the field more open, and Kyle Pitts to be able to use him right. And with that, if Desmond Ridder is just better than Marcus Mariota was last year, they could win this division. They were only a few games away, and this was a team with the Bucs that were They were like, what, a few games behind. The Bucks weren't even over 500 with Tom Brady. And now let's get to that game. Vikings versus Bucks. Get back to it real quick. Bengals over Browns, Ravens over Texans, and then Falcons over Panthers. And now Vikings versus Bucks. The Bucks can be a good team. They can be a good team, but they definitely don't have the quarterback. They definitely do not have the quarterback, with barely even going 500, like I said earlier, with Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, versus this mediocre defense that the Vikings have. This can be a good game, but it comes down to Baker Mayfield, which I'm not a truther. I'm not a Baker Mayfield hater. It's just we've seen what we've seen, and he is the reason why he has not been able to keep a job. And here, I think Kirk Cousins will have a big statement game that everyone's going to go crazy over. And I have the Vikings winning. Justin Jefferson, big game. And hopefully the Vikings defense can kick it up, because I don't even think, with how the Lions played, I think I could have the Lions winning the division. And this could be Vikings 1, Lions 2, Lions 1, Vikings 2. And let's just see how it goes. Jordan Addison's there, able to open up the field. TJ Hawkinson's there now. And I'm really excited for this offense, but it just comes down to defense for the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, Vikings over Bucks that I have right there. And the Washington Commanders versus the Arizona Caleb Williams Cardinals. And what's great for them here is that they have the Houston Texans pick and possibly get 1 and 2. For me, it's pretty much just play the games of the season, see who you got, who you want to keep around, and who you possibly want to shop around. I just pretty much is going to be Josh Downs, James Conner show most likely, and not Josh Downs, Dobbs. Dobbs. James Conner show. Hopefully you can get a decent amount. I think you don't want to have any wins by the time Kyler's supposed to come back, that shows that, let's just not bring Kyler back and just have that drama there, whether they're going to trade the picks, whether they're going to keep them, or whether they're going to, we're going to draft Caleb Williams, a generational quarterback, and also Marvin Harrison Jr., who's been balling out, especially today as I'm recording this. He has 2 touchdowns in the first half, that's crazy. But here, Commanders over Cardinals. It's a good first game for Sam Howell to show how good he can be with this game. I don't think Terry McLaurin is playing, but it's all solid enough. You got Brian Robinson, Gibson. I forgot his name, top of my head. So many players. And the next game, Jags versus Colts. I would say that the Colts could have a chance, but there's no Jonathan Taylor, and that's what you would definitely want for this Colts team to be able to spread out the floor. There is, Jags versus Colts. This is definitely a big game for the Colts. I would want to see them. I would have a chance for them to win, but there is no Jonathan Taylor. Of course, he's going to be out due to contract and all that. But it's also Trevor Lawrence at the end of the field. And I don't think that the Jags have as good as a defense. Of course, they blew that 27-point lead in the beginning. Of course, they did come back and win, but you still blew the lead in the beginning. I'm excited to see what this Calvin Ridley addition looks like for the Jaguars. But if the Colts had Jonathan Taylor, I would have probably took them in this game, but I'm going to take the Jags in this one with Trevor Lawrence. Next game we have is the 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett, I don't want to get too hyped up on this, but he looked amazing. He looked great in this preseason. And George Pickens is just going to get better. Najee Harris is there. And this defense is one of the best in the world, especially when TJ Watt is healthy. And the 49ers defense, or 49ers in general, this is going to be a tough game for them. It's going to be the first game. Their second half team, they're going to struggle in the beginning, getting really Purdy, really starting in there. And I'm not as a Purdy believer as much as everybody else. I think he is a solid, good enough quarterback, but I don't think he is this take them to the Super Bowl quarterback as he is. I know he was 1 game away, but for me, we got to see for a whole season. And at the end, I respect Brock Purdy, great quarterback, but I don't think he is as good as people say he is. Maybe it's just more of the system around him. Here, I have the Steelers with the upset over the San Francisco 49ers. And now we move on to later the Saints versus the Titans here. Two teams, two older quarterbacks, with especially the Saints, a much older team. No Alvin Kamara, he's going to be out for a while. Jamal Williams is going to fill in there, and it's hard to take it because Derek Carr is a damn good quarterback with Chris Olave there, who I think is going to have a really big game because the secondary of the Titans is just awful, but the run defense they have is amazing, and it's pretty much flipped the other way around, where the secondary. I mean, the defense in general is just, it's okay, but it's just how good is the offense going to be. And here I have the Titans over the Saints winning this game. And the next game we have Broncos versus the Raiders. Here, Russell Wilson hopefully can come back. I think there's a streak that the Raiders have beat the Broncos for so many games. I'm hoping these comments did not get to him the way these Sean Payne comments have been coming out. I think he have a big breakout game. I am concerned about the offensive line. I am concerned about his weapons around him. But here I have the Broncos beating the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it'll be pretty close, actually. I think it'll be pretty close because, the defense is going to hold up, but hopefully let's see how good the offense is going to be, and that's my big worry, especially against this Raiders defense who's okay. Of course, the Eagles versus the Patriots. Oh, man. I think the Eagles aren't going to be as good as last year, but they're still going to be pretty damn good. One of the best in the NFC and the NFL. But this Patriots defense is really great. But I'm more concerned about how does this offense move. They barely have any weapons. Mac Jones is a solid enough quarterback, but I love my boy Zeke, but if that's your really big signing, which, you do have Ramondre Stevenson who you're relying on. I like it, but I think it just needs to be a little more spread out. And I think it's going to be pretty close. It's going to look like an upset. It's going to look like last year's Eagles versus Lions game. But at the end of it, I think the Eagles are going to win. And I have, right there, the Eagles over the Patriots. And then the next game, Dolphins versus Chargers. This game, to me, an absolute shootout between these two. And Tua Tagovailoa game right here. Tua Tagovailoa game, he is going to show why he is going to win the AFC East. Why he is going to win and probably push a few playoff games. Maybe win a playoff game for this Dolphins team if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, that's what it comes down to for me. If he's healthy, it's going to happen. Tua Tagovailoa gets a dub over the Chargers this game, and then the Seahawks versus the Rams. Should I have to say more? Before I recorded this, Cooper Kupp was just put in the IR, which, sorry, fantasy football Cooper Kupp owners. Don't know why you even drafted him, but I'm sorry. I have the Seahawks here. Geno, I don't think he will be as efficient as last year, but you still got DK Metcalf. You still got Tyler Lockett. You'll have JSN whenever he comes back. I think he's going to miss 2 or 3 weeks, which it's okay. The defense is going to be solid enough. It's just more of the run defense I'm worried about, but it's week 1 of the Rams. They're going to be team number 31 or 32 at the end of this season. Next, we have the Bears versus the Packers. Jordan Love, let's see how he goes. His first official start. I think it's in Chicago, or I'm not sure where. I think it's in Chicago. But here, Jordan Love, this is your statement right here. With the team that's supposed to be in the bottom of the division, let's see how good you are. You have a good offense. You have a solid enough defense. You could possibly win a division. How this lays out, it's anyone's division. It could be close enough. It's going to be a good race. But the Bears, I'm here for it. I'm here for a Justin Fields breakout year. I'm just worried about this defense. The defense is awful. Hopefully they can get some more moves, make some more moves around this defense, and just make it solid enough for Justin Fields to be able to break out and have the big season he is supposed to. And if he doesn't, you have Carolina's pick. You have ways to trade for weapons and trade for that. I don't know if you use it in the draft or you use it trading them, but I'm here for it. And this could possibly be a 4-team race for the division, and I'm here for it, but I think it ends up with the Bears going last. And it could be the Bears are last by 1 game. But here tonight or tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, game 1, I'm going with the Bears over the Packers, and then splitting the series for this year. For now, let's see how they play out. And then Sunday Night Football. the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. I don't want to get too riled up here, but the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott has won 10 straight games versus the New York Giants. The New York Giants lost last year to Cooper Rush, who was on an unbelievable tear last year. And what more can I say? This defense got better. This team, to me, is the best team in the NFC. Maybe a little biased, but I mean, this is one of the best defenses, one of the best offenses led by one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Dak Prescott here. And that's why I have them beating the New York Giants, which, I mean, the New Giants aren't no... I'm not taking them for no... they're no slouch and no nothing. They have great weapons on defense. They do have Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback for them. But let's see how solid it is. See how much he can pass down the field, because I don't know how much you're going to rely on Saquon Barkley just running the ball 20 times, because that's not going to keep him healthy. You have Mozzie Smith there in the middle. You got, that line right there. I mean, it's one of the best, if not one of the best defense, if not the best defense in the league. But I have the Dallas Cowboys beating the New York Giants and back staying in New York. Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' first game as a Jet, official game, regular season. We are here, and I think the Bills take it. It's going to be a tough few weeks adjusting to the pace, and I'm hoping not, but this could be a potential. Aaron Rodgers has a last year's Russell Wilson year, which I hope not. I think they're going to be a solid team, one of the best defenses in the league that they're going to have. But I think Josh Allen is just the man. It's been Josh Allen's division to run. It's been his since Tom Brady left, pretty much. And what more can I say? The Bills' defense in the regular season is not to mess with either, and I'm here for it. Monday Night Football is going to be a big game here, but I'm going with the Bills over. Here's the recap of my Sunday's picks. I have the Bengals over the Browns. I have the Ravens over the Titans. I have the Vikings over the Bucks. I have the Falcons over the Panthers. I have the Commanders over the Cardinals. Jaguars beating the Colts. The 49ers losing to the Steelers. The Saints losing to the Titans. The Broncos beating the Raiders. The Eagles beating the Patriots. The Dolphins beating the Chargers. The Seahawks beating the Rams. And then I have the Bears beating the Packers. And then I have the Dallas Cowboys beating the New York Giants. And the Bills beating the New York Jets. Comment down below who you think is going to win these games and who you're rooting for. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We are almost to 200 subscribers. So make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.